And that brings up a good topic when you spoke about the Yoruba system, because there's a lot of people who they are part of the Orisha tradition, or Ifa, which would be the literary corpus of let's say the Orisha tradition, those who practice that way. And you may get a reading, or you may have an elder speak to you and tell you that you're slated to be in a polygynous situation. And there are scriptures, we'll call them, they're called Odu, but there are Odus and Patakis, which are stories in Ifa that describe certain things with polygyny, but a lot of it is very cryptic. And in order to truly learn it, coming from the same perspective of the people who originally told these stories, you would actually, in fact, have to learn Nigerian or Yoruba culture. And that's one of the things often that's skipped over. So I think it's also, it could be correlated to those who may only look in the Bible, or may only look in the Quran, and say, okay, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to learn polygyny, without really learning the culture of the people who transcribe these words, because that's the perspective that the marriage is going to be viewed from.
Absolutely. And, because of colonialism, what I've done, I field stripped, a lot of what is coming from different perspectives, and simply put it in a nuts and bolts fashion, because now everybody will understand where the other person is coming from. Okay.
Right.
So I haven't stripped the religious aspect, because each family, each man is going to have his own tradition that his family follows. However, polygyny is practical. That's what it exists for. It's a very spiritual, very high spiritual institution, but everything in the heavens should be reflected on earth, and vice versa. So if you can't put something in place whereby your women will be taken care of, and you will be taken care of, and the children are taken care of, and you know how to deal with, say, a woman's cycles. You have a spiritual system. You have cleanliness laws that your family follows, dress codes, things like that. Those are very practical, and even can transcend religious parameters. For instance, I'm not Muslim, but most Muslims that I know, the women cover their heads. So my women in my household are not required to cover their heads. However, if someone invites me into their home, or if I happen to, I walk in, if I know I'm going to be, let's say, in a store owned by Muslims, I'm going to have my women cover their head. And that's just out of respect. And that's one of those things that's very fluid about polygyny. You can always change up. Your laws for your household can always be amended.